Morning guys, it's a Sunday morning and I'm back to work today. I've just had a week off work and I've decided to go to work today. So I've just got 10 minutes before I set off. I'm quite early, so I'm just going to be talking a little bit about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty Remastered. I wasn't going to get it this year, and you know me, I ended up buying it. So I actually picked it up off a bloke second hand for 50 quid, and I saved about 25 quid by doing that. It's the only reason I went and bought it. If I had to pay 75 quid for it, I would not have bothered at all. So I'm just going to give you my views on both games really. Right, okay, we'll start off with Infinite Warfare. What a pile of crap that game is. So, I haven't played the campaign, so I'm not going to comment on that. And just don't go and buy this game at all, even if it's the standalone copy of the game. If it's the game bundled with a Legacy Edition, just don't bother. I make the mistakes, so you don't have to. So apparently it's got a good story mode, so if you're interested in the campaign, it may be worth picking up. I wouldn't pick it up for 40-50 quid though. But the multiplayer is honestly the worst Call of Duty multiplayer game I have ever played. And that's saying something, because Call of Duty's been rubbish for a long time now, and it only took me 2 games of this to realise how actual bad it was. And I don't know why. Graphically it was terrible, the multiplayer side of it. The 2 maps that I played were totally different maps, and they were just like square maps. There was no imagination behind the maps at all. It just felt like a 5-minute sort of job they've done on the game. And the actual graphics on the multiplayer side of it, absolutely horrendous. It's like an arcade game. Like it is literally that bad, that I was just laughing when I was playing it. It's just terrible. So yeah, my advice, just do not go and buy this as a standalone game. If you're interested in Call of Duty 4, can kind of understand why you would, but just don't. If you're interested in the multiplayer, go and play something else. Go and play Battlefield. Battlefield is absolutely amazing, absolutely fantastic, and I found myself going straight back to it. Now last night I had a little 10-minute go on the zombie missions of the game on Infinite Warfare, and actually the zombies was actually quite fun, and I think with mates that would be a great part of the game. Totally different to the multiplayer completely, and it's set on a theme park, sort of in the 80s, but sort of futuristic, if that makes sense. So yeah, you've got to watch some YouTube videos of that to kind of get the gist of it. So I think that could be a good part of the game. But zombies is always alright. It's always worth playing on Call of Duty games. They may as well just sod the rest of the game off and just bring out just a zombie game, because that's what they're good at. Anyway, Call of Duty 4, I'm going to talk about that now, and I've got some sort of hard feelings about it. So the only reason I did pick up this was to play Call of Duty 4 and see if I could get some fun out of the memories of 9 years ago when it first came out. And for the first couple of games I did really well, and I sort of enjoyed it, and I thought this game is really good still, and the sort of the mechanics of the game are still there, and it's still a game that I put hundreds of hours into over the space of a couple of years, and it never ever got boring at that time. But that was 9 years ago, and fast forward to 2016, I don't think it's the same. It's hard to say that. I have got some enjoyment out of it. I've only played it for a couple of hours, mind. I don't know if it's me or the people playing the game now. It's a different generation of people, I don't know. But like, it's just terrible, like, playing it now compared to 9 years ago. Yeah, they've done a great job perking the graphics up and sort of remastering the game, and the gameplay elements are still brilliant. But I played a match on Bog last night. If you remember that map, it was like a few buses and a building on the right hand side of the map, or left hand side, depending on which side you spawned on. there was like a mound in the middle, and it used to be a brilliant map, like to sort of, especially on domination when people were after the middle flag. But I played it last night on Team Deathmatch, and literally there was just people sat at the back of the map with sniper rifles. Pretty much 4 or 5 of that team were just sat there with sniper rifles, and as soon as you spawned, you was getting shot in the fucking head, and that is just not fun. Now, I don't know if that's because of the way gamers play now, or it's just me being sort of picky with, like, or I just had a bad experience. I don't know. There's still parts of me that enjoys the game a little bit. Like, when you go on a good streak and you're sort of having a good game, it's really enjoyable. It is enjoyable. But when you're on a team that aren't very good, or aren't playing the objective, or not, just generally not working as a team, which they won't in today's gaming, it's just terrible. The game is just like, it's just awful in today's era. And I think that's partly due to the fact 9 years ago we didn't have party chat where people would jump into a party and just talk amongst themselves. Whereas now, if you jump into a game of Call of Duty and try and talk to someone on a mic, you are not going to get any response whatsoever. So, like, back in the day, everybody used to have a mic and there used to be no party chat. People would just rip into each other after a game on there, so you'd have 12 people all having a slanging match, Americans versus English people, all slagging each other's mums off, all swearing at each other and shouting at each other, and that was part of the fun of the game. Even though people necessarily probably didn't mean half the stuff they said on that game, it was just funny, and it was part of the game, and I think that's what made it as well. And for me, I think Call of Duty it's been dead for a long time, and it's been dead since, I'd say Black Ops 1 was probably the last really good Call of Duty game. And ever since then, it's just been terrible. And going back to this and playing it again, it was nice to relive some memories. They've added 10 more prestiges to this game. It took me a long time to get to the 10th prestige on that game, and I don't fancy doing it all again. And I think sometimes in the world of gaming, memories are just best left behind. It's just, they should have just left it alone, in my opinion. And great, like, people were getting to play that game again in fancy new graphics, and that's amazing for some people. For me, it's just like, I played that game to death. I didn't want to go and play it again, really. I thought, what's the point in playing a game that I played 10 years ago and just go and playing it again? But there was just a niggle in the back of my mind, what if I still enjoy it as much as I did 9 years ago? And you know what, I did a little bit. I did enjoy it a little bit, but not enough. Not enough to keep me playing it. And I'm glad I went and revisited it. I probably will just get rid of the copy I've bought, and I won't lose any money. I'll actually gain money, like from CEX or Game will pay me more in cash than what I paid for it, so I'm not really lost out. And if you are genuinely interested in going and play Call of Duty 4 again, just wait for it to be separated from the Infinite Warfare. Otherwise you're going to pay between £65 and £75 brand new for this game, just for that experience, which wasn't enough for me. It might be enough for some people, but it wasn't for me. So just I would just wait. I've heard rumours that in 6 to 8 weeks time they will separate Call of Duty Remastered from Infinite Warfare. I think they will have to, because let's face it, who's playing Infinite Warfare apart from the campaign? There may be a small handful of people playing it, but most of the people bought that game for Call of Duty Remastered. Don't care what anyone says. If that game hadn't come with, if Remastered hadn't come with Infinite Warfare would have been a total flop this year. I can guarantee it. So their sales tactics have been absolutely horrendous to milk every penny out of the gamers, and it's just, gaming has changed for the worst, and it costs so much money. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on because I've got to go to work now. First day back after a week off. I'll leave you with that. if you, I'll be interested to hear what other people think if they pick this game up, because for me, I was excited to actually play it again, even though I'm thinking, why am I playing a game that I played 10 years ago? But there was part of me that thought, I played this game for hours and hours and hours, I want to give it a go again, see if I can get the same enjoyment out of it. For me, I'm not going to play that for hours and hours and hours again like I used to. So, I will probably get rid of it, either as a Christmas present or sell it. And yeah, just let me know what you thought. For me, I'm going to go back to Battlefield 1. Absolutely amazing game. Anyway, I've got to go. I've got to go to work. So I'll see you on my next video. And I'll try and bring some laughable gameplay from Infinite Warfare to my channel, just to show you how actual rubbish it is. Because I was in stitches laughing at how bad it was. Anyway, that's me done. See you later. Bye.